Hello, I'm Chad and this is Growing with Chad. Thank you for being here and checking on me and Maria. We have been steady working and trying to make something happen. The glue has been flowing and there's plastic everywhere. Little Mama joined me today and we have been enjoying some sunshine. At this point, I have a vision of what I want to do, but I don't have every detail worked out. I have a plan, but it's still forming. The vision lights the path forward, but my curiosity and imagination move me, and they're great fuel for this ride. Curiosity and imagination are so interesting. They creep in without much notice and start to grow like a fire. They egg each other on, play games, but they don't keep score. They dance and twirl and put on a show for anyone to watch. And although they're fun, they are powerful players. Think about all the things that have been discovered from just a hint of curiosity. Our modern comforts were once ideas in the mind, brought into reality. Curiosity and imagination aren't just for SpongeBob. They help us survive and strive for a better tomorrow. Curiosity isn't something we have or don't have. It's something that is a part of us. We all have the capacity to be curious, but it doesn't always come out. Curiosity is asking why, for the sake of understanding, without strings or gain. It isn't concerned with labeling until meaning is understood. There's a pause with curiosity that loosens judgment and takes the pressure off. That pause lets us stay a little longer with things. The name tags we usually give things begin to disappear when curiosity leads the way. Curiosity takes willingness. There is a bit of surrender in it. I have to give it space and let it take me. And that's what I give to Maria: curious attention and care. We often think of imagination like baby teeth. It's encouraged when we're small, cared for, protected, but as they fall out, seriousness replaces them. Permanence sets in, and hardness appears where there wasn't any before. Imagination gets more use when we're children. We need to fill in what we don't understand yet. There's a looseness to imagination that allows for play. We can try things out and practice before committing to reality. We imagine situation and courage shows up, and that's incredibly valuable. But as we grow and we think we understand the world, the need for imagination can fade. We think we already know the possibilities, and we lock into our stances. We miss things. We trade imagination for efficiency, certainty, and productivity. That doesn't mean imagination leaves us or loses its value. We need it. Curiosity can turn the handle, but imagination walks us through the door. It starts with questions, and questions lead to more questions. Imagination keeps us exploring what we can't see yet. But as curiosity and imagination run wild, reality shows up differently. The work gets harder, things don't fit. The pressure builds and self-doubt creeps in. As the doubts get louder, curiosities get quieter. But that's the way it is with fear. Fear is greedy and requires more and more attention. Fear starts repeating the same old stories like a rerun. It replays old theme songs and the familiar cast of characters come out. The plots are so dull, it doesn't take a psychic to know what happens next. The doubt of what am I actually doing and am I wasting my time starts to get louder. The old storylines repeat and I start telling myself what I can and cannot do. Now I can start to see all the ways that I will fail instead of what's possible. When fear is loud, imagination and curiosity go quiet. Fear is in a rush to label, classify, and organize the threats. It must be analyzed quickly and there is no time to give it a second thought. While curiosity is the direct immersion into the second thought. Curiosity just wants to dunk your head into it. But the pressure I feel isn't wrong. It's just asking the wrong questions. Maybe, what happens if I try this, is the direction I want to go for. Pressure isn't good or bad, it's needed and has a place. But like a fire hose, it can seem out of control if we forget that we can turn it down. We aren't only directing the focus, but also the intensity. The more important things seem, the more pressure is applied, all without asking some fundamental questions. Is it worth it? What am I trying to prove? Am I choosing this or just reacting? What am I afraid of? But also, what happens if I don't decide this right now? Or what would this be like if I let it be imperfect? What even is perfect? These are the questions that expand the perspective and allow for things to be seen in their entirety. When I was going along, I began to focus on my vision and trying to force it into reality. But as I did, everything pushed back, and I started to see that a different approach was needed. Maybe a little more flexibility in what I'm doing. Accepting that there are real limitations to the materials I'm using, the space I have to work with, and my skills with the snips. Accepting that things may not turn out exactly as I thought. As I stopped seeing how things weren't, I started to focus on how things were. And I started to appreciate Maria a little more. I started to see that there was accomplishment in my progress. I stopped and recognized that this has been difficult, and it's not because I'm so weak. It's that this has been hard and I'm trying my best. When I took a step back and started asking myself curious questions, this started to go a little easier. When I stopped asking myself how things should be and started asking how they would like to be. Taking the pressure off of myself and allowing me to see things a little bit more clearly. Once I stopped being so concerned with getting it right, things started going right. And this is where I found Maria. She didn't have a name at first, she took time, quietly forming in the mess. What stayed with me was her persistence, that steady curiosity that kept showing up. And maybe that's the part that's worth noticing. Because so often we're waiting for clarity before we allow ourselves to begin. We wait for confidence, for certainty, for the moment when things finally feel lined up. But growth rarely starts that way. Most of the time, it starts unnamed, unpolished, and somewhere in the middle of not knowing yet. So maybe the question isn't, am I doing this right? Maybe it's, what's trying to take shape here? What part of you keeps showing up, even when it's uncomfortable? What idea, relationship, or direction hasn't fully made sense yet, but also hasn't gone anywhere? You don't have to rush it. You don't have to define it. You just need enough space to let something exist. If this resonates with you, take a moment today to notice what you've been overlooking. And if you want to keep exploring these ideas of growth, curiosity, and meaning, visit growingwithchad.com.